Hello friend, welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. Short video on 2013 Toyota Prius plug-in and misfire on the number 2 cylinder. Unfortunately, blown head gasket at 170,000 miles. I just pulled the head and I want to show you that passage where it's actually happening. You'll see the bottom of the head, we will look at the block and so on. So this is how I pulled everything and organized it for myself. That's how I operate. And now let's look, and you can be judge for yourself. Number 4 cylinder, number 3 cylinder, number 2 cylinder, and you probably see it already. There's that famous passage, which is towards to the exhaust, because what we see here is the exhaust. Also, I will not say anything. Look at the ports. So back to the area where the head gasket was. If I may give a hint, this is cooling passage. This is exactly where it starts leaking. In the number 2, look at it. That's a number 2 cylinder, and that's what was blowing. It was showing that there is a misfire on the number 2. The fact that some shop which is not experienced with these repairs and this kind of stuff happening on this generation of Prius, they replace the spark plugs, they replace the coils, and then the owner took it to different shop which correctly diagnosed this as a blown head gasket. So one more time, last time, this is the passage and the leakage. Now let's go to the vehicle and you will see, actually you will see the confirmation. So hello darkness. Now we have a light. So we said the front is intake, the rear is exhaust, correct? And I will show you this area right here. So it's not just discoloration on this head gasket. That's that exact passage, the cooling passage, where it starts leaking. Most of the time it shows on the cylinder number 1 or cylinder number 2. It's not normally affecting 3 and 4. Now for those who don't believe me and say, yeah, that's just discoloration on that head gasket, which I still didn't remove. I will show you the exhaust pipes and you will finally see that everything was correct. The ECM computer was correct. It was really happening on the number 2, because look at this. This is completely dry number 1 cylinder. Look at the number 2. It's just washed. Look at it. The coolant was being blown in that pipe, number 3 and number 4. So isn't this fascinating? If just we had view when the vehicle has misfire, if we just could see inside of these pipes. I keep moving that light for a purpose. I want to show that inside as best as I can to you. Look how dry these ones, just the carbon and completely washed off number 2 cylinder exhaust pipe. So here we can observe engine block and the surface on the engine block, especially in that area which we were discussing, which is right here. So this is the passage in that gasket. We can compare it, see the surfaces of the block. And ideally, the block is in perfect condition, checked with the straight edge. because that will be hard to take to machine shop, correct? Just put it in the pocket and go to the machine shop with this whole huge chunk of engine. So the problem, fortunately, it's not here. You can see the piston perfectly in the top dead center, number 1, number 2 and 3 down, number 4 up, the same way. See beautifully that carbon buildup from combustion in the cylinder. You will see it also there, and in that number 2 it's all diluted and washed off by the coolant. You can see it in the pipe. Number 1 again has that carbon on the piston, so I will carefully clean this. I will recommend everybody never ever use even the sandpaper, even the fine one. This is aluminum surface, you don't want to scratch it. You have to treat with this area, these surfaces, with absolutely respect. You have to be gentle. You don't want to scratch it and make any cuts in it. By even, I will not use the razor blade or anything like that, right? I'm using this finishing pad. Can you see it? Maybe this way, right? It's like a fluffy stuff, and you can carefully clean this area. There is some dirt on it. Look at it. It's perfectly taking it away without making any cuts or anything in that engine block. So that's one of the things. Let's go look on that gasket which is removed on the toolbox. So I prepared a show here for you, the new one. The number is right here. It has only one way to be put on, so you don't need to worry about it. Pretty easy. This is the failed area which we keep discussing in this video. And if you follow the repair manual, they obviously tell you with that print, which you see right here, that goes up. You are applying FIPG into areas here when you are putting it down, even before you will bring the head on top of it. Resurface head, which I will show you just in a second. Here, interesting, smooth tile layer gasket. I want to show you that. I believe I did count it. I hope I can count correctly. I think it's made of like 4 layers. It's a metal, it's not a paper obviously. It's a metal gasket. Obviously I only use Toyota products in these cases instead of some aftermarket. Doesn't make sense. This one lasted 176 or 180. I think it's 176,000 miles. If it lasts another 176, it will be fantastic. I will never call it failure. This is what it is. The engine in the hybrid system has obviously different heat cycles, and it doesn't last so long like in the normal 4-cylinder engine. And I said, if you do this job, hopefully you are conscious enough to pause the job and drop off the head at the machine shop. I wish you can feel this surface with me. This was resurfaced, right? This is the area. So the machine shop does 3 items on the list. They pressure test the whole head. They vacuum test the valves, so they are seated correctly and they are holding vacuum. And then they, as a number 3, they resurface this face. So this is absolutely gorgeous, worth every penny. Will cost you somewhere in ballpark of $180–200. It's absolutely absolutely worth of every penny. I will never try to skip that. And basically the machine shop, when he calls you, that's what he does. Our guy thought, he says, I have a great pleasure to tell you that the head passed all the tests. It's in the good health. It passed the health check and you can come and pick it up. So this is the way it goes. I will turn it around for you. This is the other side. I'm just trying to show it to you. I should be already installing it, but I'm in charge of this YouTube channel, so I love to share this with you, so you can have any idea. You can have idea what is done. These repairs are not cheap, but you can see what is included in all of this. So I really hope you have enjoyed this video. You find it interesting, entertaining. You maybe learned something. If you liked it, please give it a thumb up. Stay tuned. I have way more coming your way soon. Thank you for watching and have a great day, my friend.